Hi guys, today we are talking about similar figures. So you should have grabbed this worksheet as you walked into the classroom. If you don't have it, you need to push pause and go find it. And you're going to ride along with this worksheet as I'm kind of going along with it. So the first 5 questions are just vocabulary, so we're going to kind of go through that together. The first one says similar figures have the same. This blank should be shape, but they do not necessarily have to have the same size. So you could have one really small triangle, one really big triangle, and those can be similar. The symbol for similar is like a little squiggly like this. It means similar to. And this is the symbol for angle. It kind of looks like an L. A lot of students think it is an L. That means angle. We kind of have already talked about both of these symbols, but just so you can remember. So the next one on number 3, it is a scale drawing. A scale drawing is an enlarged or reduced drawing that is similar to an object or place. So a lot of times, like architects use these. They make a little tiny version of what they're trying to build. That's a scale drawing. And number 4, in similar triangles, corresponding angles are congruent, and corresponding sides are in proportion. So that just basically means we've got 2 triangles. All the angles are going to be the exact same angle measure, but your sides could be bigger or smaller. They have to be proportional. To find the missing side length, set up and solve it's supposed to say proportion. I'm going to put fishy question because that's what we've been calling that, fishy problems. You guys are kind of used to that from 7th grade math. Put this measurement of the smaller figure on the top and the bigger figure on the bottom. That's really important for this worksheet because they're not going to use any primes like we're used to. So you need to keep that in mind. Okay, so here's some examples. So like I said before, they're not using primes. Like typically we would use A prime, and then on this one it would be, or this one's A, this one would be A prime, this one's B, this one would be B prime. The way you know what letter goes with what is you're looking up here. What's in the same spot as A? Well, that would have to be X. They're the first letter in both of their triangles. So it says angle A corresponds with angle X. So I'm looking all up here. I'm not really looking at my picture when I do this because I think it's more accurate to look at this part right here. Angle B is in the same spot as angle Y, and angle C is in the same spot as angle Z. So those are the angles. That just means A and X equal each other, B and Y equal each other, and C and Z equal each other. So then it says AB, this is talking about a side length or like a segment. AB matches up with, well, AB was the first 2 letters of this triangle, so I'm looking for the first 2 letters of this triangle. That would be XY. BA, that's like the second one and then the first one. So I'm going to do the second one and then the first one of this one would match up with YX. And BC, the last 2 match up with YZ. Okay, so this one is very similar to the one right above it. Like I said, when you're trying to see what corresponds with what, look right here at the letters and see which order they go in. That order is very important. So I would like you to push pause and try practice problem number 1. And then when you push play, you can check your answers. Okay, so hopefully you've pushed pause and your answers are done. I'm hoping none of you guys are cheating and just listening to me do all your work for you. But anyway, angle D corresponds with, well, angle D is the first one in this triangle. Angle S is the first one in this triangle, so that's why they match up. O matches with I. They're both in the middle. G matches with T. And then the rest of these are segments. DO matches with SI. IT matches with OG. And ST, that's the first and the last, so that would be DG. Suppose angle S is 25 degrees. What does that mean angle D is? Well, you just said that in our notes before this that corresponding angles are congruent. That means that they are the same size. They're exactly the same. So if I know angle S is 25, then I know angle D also has to be 25 degrees. Okay. There is another practice problem, number 2, right here. I am not doing that one with you. You need to do that on your own. So push pause and spend, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes trying to figure out 2 on your own, please. Okay, so now we're moving on to learning goal number 2. I can identify the missing measurements. This is where your fishy problems are going to come in. I'm going to turn my paper over. Both of these examples are actually on the next side of your paper, so you'll have to flip it over. But this is where you're going to set up a fishy problem. So they've told you to always put the small triangle's number on the top of your fraction and the big triangle's number on the bottom of your fraction. This one they set up for you so you can see your fishy problem already. But just so you can kind of see where they're getting this, they are looking here, number 4, and they're putting it over the side that goes with that on the big triangle. So 4/8. They're in the same spot on their triangle. One's just the small triangle, one's just the big triangle. If you put the small triangle first on your first fraction, you have to do the same thing for your second. So 3 goes over the question mark because those two are in the same spot. Once you set up your fishy problem, now you can solve. So 3 times 8 divided by 4 equals our missing portion. So you're going to need a calculator today. 3 times 8 divided by 4 is 6. So the missing side is 6. Okay, the next one, same exact thing except for they don't give you a triangle. Now they give you a rectangle. They're still asking you to put the small rectangle over the large rectangle. So they started with this one. This is the smaller rectangle, and it goes with the side 5 on the bigger rectangle. Those two go together. They're in the same spot. So they put 3/5. Since they put the small one on the top on the first fraction, they have to put the other part of the small one on the top. So this is x, and it's in the same spot as 2.5, and that's why these two go together. So now that they have that done, you can put your fishy problem in your calculator. So it would be 2.5 times 3 divided by 5. And that would make x 1.5. Okay. They did not set up your fishy problems for you on the practice problem, so you have to do that yourself. They always ask you to do small over large, so your first step is figuring out which shape is smaller. In this case, this right here is the smaller shape, so just pick a number on that shape. I just saw 6 first, so I'm going to pick 6. And 6 goes in the same spot as 10 on the bigger triangle, so I put those two together. So then I'm back to my small triangle. The number I didn't use yet is 7, and it goes with x. And now you can do your fishy problem. Once you see number 2, though, they're basically the exact same size, so it doesn't matter which one you put on the top or the bottom. I would just pick a number, find the spot or the same place on the other triangle, and make your fraction that way. So the first number I looked at was this one. You could set this up a lot of different ways and still get this correct. The which part on this triangle is in the same spot as 3.9, and that would be 4.2. And then I still have this one right here, 4.1. It would go on the